Great Falls is home to Montana's largest dry goods specialty store. Coming up on this episode of We're No Damn Experts, we're talking with the owner of Dragonfly Dry Goods.
Best damn podcast, the best damn town. You want to get up, get ready to get down. With its big white sky and the wild river Thames. If you want to go, we can take you there to Great Falls, Montana.
Welcome to the greatest damn town in Montana, Great Falls. I'm Rebecca Ingham.
I'm Shannon Newth.
And we're No Damn Experts. And today, on today's podcast, I'm pretty dang excited.
You are. You've wanted this for a long time.
I have. I have wanted this for a long time. And it's really sad that we're at this level in our podcast and we've just finally got this person on. So without further ado, we have the owner of Montana's largest specialty dry goods store.
Yay.
The winner of the Inspire Award for the Fire Within for a number of years. The queen of retail.
Ooh.
Yep, I said it.
Wow.
She's mentored many a folk on retail.
Yeah.
Allison, who needs no more further instruction.
That was quite the intro,
Yes.
though.
Yeah. I'll take it. Thank you.
Yeah. So thank you for finally being on our podcast. I should have asked a lot sooner or started begging a lot sooner. So
Yeah, just been busy
Yeah.
keeping that gigantic
That
place
large
going.
place going. Yeah.
So tell us, we're gonna kick the podcast off, making you tell us about yourself. Are you a Great Falls girl? What's going on? How long you been here? What you love about this? When you started the business? All those things, kind of that
Your
foundational.
bio.
Tell
My
us what's
bio.
going on.
Okay. Just
Who
the good
are
things,
you?
though.
Yeah.
I mean, that's up to you.
I've been in retail forever. And when I say ever, it means when I was 8 years old,
Oh my gosh.
had a family friend who had a retail store, and I'd go unpack boxes and hang out. So
And you still wanted to get into it after that experience at 8.
I worked with her like a couple afternoons a week for probably 3.5, 4 years.
Oh wow.
Then I volunteered at our local library and went in and like arranged books and cleaned books and put books away and did that for a couple years. I did my 1.5 years at McDonald's.
Oh, it's good
It's a
training
rite
there.
of passage.
It is.
Yeah.
I mean, I think everyone should do a fast food job.
Have you, quick question, did you ever get any burnt fries thrown back at your face by a customer?
Not burnt fries, but other things.
Gotcha.
Who are these people?
My mom worked for a brief time at McDonald's in her young years, and I just remember her sharing a story. And she listens to the podcast, Mom, so correct me if I'm wrong, but I think some nasty customer there was like one burnt fry or something, and like threw it back at her.
Yeah.
Oh,
I want to punch him.
that's pretty mean.
Anyway.
Okay.
It doesn't
glad you
matter where
didn't
you
have
where you experience
Right.
customer service. There's always someone
There's those
who's
people.
not going to be happy.
Yeah.
But luckily
Yes.
at Dragonfly Dry Goods downtown,
They're all good.
They're
people.
all gems.
it's amazing. Like even I was interviewing with a gal today, and I was like, "We're so lucky. We have like so many great people, and they come in and they love our store." And I was telling her all about it, so it was cool.
Okay, so after, I'm sorry, I interrupted your
McDonald's,
progression. Yes.
Then I was college age, went to school in Billings, went to school in Missoula, went to school here at the University of Providence, which wasn't the University of Providence when I went. So now you can all date how old I am and calculate it right now.
It's okay. It
Well,
really hasn't
the
been
University of
UGM
Providence
for a
thing
long-
just happened like within
a couple
5
weeks.
years.
Yeah, so really that part doesn't date you. Yeah.
While in college in Billings, I worked for a gal who had her own store and essentially like just was there the whole time, did tons of stuff for her. So I've always been kind of in and out of customer service or retail or whatever. And I didn't actually want to go to college.
Yeah.
I told my parents, I'm like, oh, I'm just going to run somebody's store for them.
He's
And they're like,
I've known since I was 8.
yeah. And they're like, no, you're not. I'm like, okay. So I did get a college degree in child psychology.
Oh, wow.
I think that's a perfect degree for working with the public.
Does actually go very well.
Yeah. And then the minor is in drama and in business. So.
Well, all of those
seems to make sense, right?
Yeah, all of those actually.
I think it all connects.
I mean, especially since you had the practical experience since you were young, like the psychology component is probably like a brilliant
Real
addition
helpful.
to that. Yeah.
So anyway,
Good work.
It helps to like handle employees and staff.
Yeah.
Sometimes I have to read another book because I'm not handling it well.
As generations change.
Yeah.
And
So yeah, Dragonfly is just started its 27th year.
Oh my gosh.
November 2nd.
Oh,
Congratulations.
So did not know that was going to happen.
Yeah.
Was there? I've only ever known Great Falls with Dragonfly Dry Goods in it.
Okay.
So my memory's not very long in the whole scheme of how old Great Falls is.
Mm-hmm.
What was Dragonfly before? Was this a startup? Was this something you bought and changed? What?
It was nothing.
Okay. So
It
just
was-
a huge vacant building.
You created it.
The building when I started was 1,400 square feet. So I just did a little tiny store because I was like, I don't know, is this going to work?
Yeah.
Like, I can't just invest a ton of money and be like,
Yeah.
that was dumb. So what that building that I'm in on 500 Central is known for was the Woolworths department store.
Okay.
So that
that's
was like
where
the
it
most
was.
recent
Yeah.
big thing was in there. It was actually built in 1889. It's actually 2 buildings, if you look at the top of it, that have been merged together. The judges lived there and held court while they built the courthouse.
Oh, wow.
Oh, wow.
And so they were there for about 3 years, and then they changed it into, it was called the Grand Hotel.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
And it was the second finest establishment in Great Falls.
Wow.
And I couldn't figure out what the second finest
Yeah.
establishment meant for a long time.
Yeah.
And then my maintenance guy who knows everything, I go, why is it the second finest? And he's like, oh, it wasn't owned by Paris Gibson. And I was like,
How
oh.
funny.
I go, you're probably right. I'm like, I mean, who knows, right?
Yeah.
There's no way to track that down. But
Yeah.
Wow.
I was like,
We can make up anything
Yeah.
we
Yeah.
want because
We do that a lot on this podcast.
Of
Yeah.
back alley dealings from
No kidding.
that time.
Huh.
yeah, so it was a hotel for quite a while.
Including your space or just above you?
As far as I know, it was just above.
Okay.
Like there'd been other little kind of shops below, but Woolworths bought that space in 1957.
Okay.
Redid a ton of stuff, added a bunch of space on the lower level, like about another 5,000 square feet.
That's a lot.
Well, the building's L-shaped, so when you look at it from the corner, you're going to see 3 stories, but it's kind of like almost a facade. It's across the front and across the back, and there was like this little area in the back that was a parking lot.
Okay.
So Woolworths made that a part of the first floor and
Okay.
added a bunch of things in there. The cool part about the second and third floor is the upstairs, second, third, has windows facing the street and windows facing out.
That is
So
nice.
every single room has windows.
That is nice.
So, and if anyone wants to put in some windows, that'd be great. There's
Open opportunity.
176 windows on the second and third floor.
Oh my gosh.
That's a lot of
calculate that.
windows.
Yeah.
Calculate that.
Yeah. Wow.
Double pane. They need to
Yeah.
be double pane these days. And I was just in a hotel this weekend, and they can only open a 1/4 inch.
Oh gosh. So people don't
So you
have
can't
issues.
Breathe.
Yeah.
get the air in or
Yes.
breathe out. Or
Right.
Yeah.
Clear everything out. Yeah.
So I had seen a picture of the top of that building, like as a visioning project, almost like a drone shot.
Yeah.
And is there like a little courtyard on the top? Like it's not in the center of your building, but it is.
No, it's in like
That
the back
L-shape
corner.
continues kind of on that top part.
Right.
But
So if apartments were put up in the top, like you could just walk out the back of those apartments to that like could be a patio
Okay.
space, like, oh no, a fun bar.
So you
I mean,
have a-
I have visions.
you have
I can only imagine.
You have a hidden rooftop bar going on.
Yeah.
I might have a hidden.
Okay.
Yeah.
That makes
Yeah,
sense.
you should, work on that. Yeah. That'd be amazing.
But the upstairs is not apartments today.
No,
Okay.
it hasn't been since Woolworths purchased the building
Okay.
in 1957. They warehoused it. It's in very, very, very good shape. And I've had quite a few different people look at it as far as like putting apartments up there over the years.
Mm-hmm.
So they come in waves.
Yeah.
So I'm all for that idea. I mean,
Yeah.
anyway.
And so when you got it, you said it was 1,400 square feet. Did you have the rest of the property? You just put the store in that
I
spot,
just
or
did
did
a little
you?
store.
Okay.
I signed a 1-year lease. I had 1,400 square feet, and I was like, I'll either make money or I won't.
Yeah.
And it wasn't bad. I was like, I'm not writing a check into it every month. So
Well, I mean, that's success right there if you're not having to support it yourself.
Did you
Yeah.
always know it was going to be clothing and shoes and beautiful gowns that you just want to wear to work for no apparent reason?
Yep.
I almost bought a gown Thursday.
Did you? You should.
Gorgeous.
Please just show up one day in a gown. I would love that. Yeah.
we can have a gown day at work.
Yes.
I had read a lot growing up and loved and was enchanted with Laura Ingalls and little stores and even movies now today I'll watch because they have like cool little shops that
Especially
are like
the Hallmark Christmas ones. You just feel like you're in the like cute little town with all these stores.
right.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, so how do we modernize like this dry goods hardware store of like the Prairie West and make it be a Montana kind of feel? And it's like, what makes you love a place and feel comfortable? And it's, the fabrics and the colors and the textures and the smell and just it can be inviting. And then, I had a mom who was super difficult to buy a gift for. So what would I give my mom if I needed to get her a thing or my sister?
Smart.
And it's like, okay. So it's like that person who has everything, like go to Dragonfly.
Yeah.
Maybe something will pop and be the perfect thing. So that's always in my mind still of that mix and, having even the cute little stuffed animals in the corner and, a stack of books and those kind of things. But I did not realize that I was getting in over my head beyond belief for just the size and the combination of everything. Generally, people have just a clothing store because they can do just that. And then people have a shoe store. And then people have a gift store.
Like, there's a reason why these
And
are
then
all
people
separate
have
businesses.
a baby
store.
store. And then people have a Montana store. They don't do them all in the same
Yeah.
because they're not crazy.
They weren't blissfully unaware of that.
Yeah.
Just because we've kind of described it, but how would you describe what a dry goods store is? Because there might be maybe some people who haven't heard that term.
That term.
Yeah.
I mean, for me, still the old fashioned Little House on the Prairie idea was you got to ride in on the horse wagon carriage, and then Dad had to get his nails and his barbed wire and like the flour, and then you got to see the pretty fabric that they had in the corner that maybe your mom would make a new dress for you, and you got to see all the little buttons and like all the little treasures were all through. So for me, it was like the same idea. Like
That inspiration.
you can go find unique, interesting, different things that are treasures that, you're not going to go everywhere and see. And then just the crazy combination of that. So it's like, I mean, I don't have nails for sale, but
if you find one, you can have it.
some days I'm impounding nails back into the antique floor some days.
Yeah.
But yeah, just kind of that elevated vision of that, if I was a girl who came to town, that I could find something that I'd never dreamed of that could be so beautiful and amazing. And I just keep thinking about that all the time. So
I will say that vision that you're describing of being able to find something unique, or that person who's hard to buy for. I mean, Dragonfly is one of my major stops for birthdays or presents or holiday, or when I'm looking for a gown for something, all of those things. But I think it really is kind of a go-to place for a lot of people here when they think of like, oh, I need a gift or I need something different. I need some ideas. Like, I think you really have established that as your kind of reputation. Yeah.
So you have women's clothing. You have beautiful blankets. I almost bought a blanket.
Okay, well, come in with your gown and your blanket. Yeah.
They won't. Maybe we'll have like Great Falls, Montana Tourism Spirit Week, and we'll do gown day.
Yeah.
And then we'll do
I love that.
pajama day with your snuggle
I love
blanket.
this.
Because I'm telling you, there's no other reason I would buy this gown and I would want to wear it all the time.
Yeah.
It's very pretty. So gowns, Great Falls, Montana gear. So sweatshirts, t-shirts, stickers, glasses, jewelry, fragrances, lotions, soaps, candles,
bracelets that say Great Falls, Montana.
Yeah.
like wine, things for a wine aficionado.
Wine stuff, books. They've got candles, boots, sandals,
The baby gifts.
baby gifts, scarves,
Crazy.
handbags,
Oh,
wallets,
I have some pillows. I have some pillows in my living room from there.
wall decor. I did notice when I was down on Thursday. So we'll kind of wrap this in a little bit by starting with you serve in many, many capacities beyond the store.
Me, personally?
Yep.
Oh, okay.
So on boards.
I was like,
and-
in the store, yes. Many capacities.
yeah, one day I'm a janitor, the next day I'm
Like
stock boy and
furnace.
Carpenter. Yeah.
But you serve on Downtown Great Falls Association, Business Improvement District Board of Directors. You've served on the Parking Commission. I don't know if you still do.
I didn't technically ever serve.
She
Oh,
provided input.
I've attended.
I've attended.
but one of the really neat events that we have here in Great Falls is Arts Fest Montana and the Great Walls Mural Festival. You were part of the leadership that said, hey, let's make this happen. And I'm going to say it this way, and you people are going to go, oh, that sounds weird. And it's the least weird thing on planet Earth. Allison, I'm going to say spearheaded or coordinated with people an artist reception that happened in the alley behind her building. It's a beautiful alley.
It is.
And we got to create, artists got to create these amazing original pieces of artwork with spray paint, and then they were auctioned off. But I saw one in the store that I've seen previously because I was at the reception, and I thought, oh, I wonder if that's for sale or if it's just on display.
She snagged it.
For
the right
there
price?
is some that are for sale. I have 2 in store. And then I also own a couple just myself, but there's 2 that are in store. One of them is a maybe sale, and one could be for sure sale.
Okay.
Depends on the
I'm
day.
storing one for an owner.
Yeah,
of
that's
a piece.
the one I noticed.
Okay.
And I've got, we'll talk about that after the podcast. But
She wants your art.
Everything in
What's the
Dragonfly
price?
is for sale.
except one thing. Isn't
What?
there, maybe there's one thing that's been in there since you opened that's still for sale.
Yeah.
Yeah.
27 years, and it's still there, and no one's purchased it. And it was like one of my original finds that I thought was like the best thing ever. And it's still there.
What is
And
it?
I can't give it up. It's like a part of my...
I have no idea what it is.
I've never told anyone what it is.
Oh, okay. I thought you knew.
no,
Oh.
I just know
Is
that's
it that
the
cash
extent.
register?
Yeah,
That's evolved
Huh.
over time.
I feel like
it
this
has
is
a price tag on it. And
Okay,
it's
I
in
feel
the
like this
building.
is a scavenger hunt now, like a challenge for people to go and see if they can guess what it is.
Here's the thing, people. Go to Dragonfly Dry Goods and you scour that building and you send us an email what you think it is. Whether you're a first-time visitor to that store or haven't been, you've been every day for 27 years. I don't care. Send us your ideas on
What you think that item
it
is. Oh.
You're going to have to figure it out
It's
someday.
the first thing almost that I purchased.
And that's the one thing that's that's not for sale?
No,
It is.
It is.
So it's for sale.
It has a tag on it. It's
Yeah.
been on the floor for 27 years.
Would you be sad to see this item go? Or just like elated that it finally
I just find it so interesting, like what comes and goes. Like I'll unbox something and like 4 minutes later, I have like one left. And then the next thing I'm like, no one's looked at that or touched it or moved it in like 3 months. I'm like, this is cute. Why don't you like this? Why?
What is going on?
This is a totally different thing, but because I do like our stuff on our social channels, I feel like it's a similar concept. Some days I'm like, well, that's great. That did so well. Why did that do so well? And then other things you're like, why don't you like this post? It's fantastic. Yeah. Very different, but similar concept where it's like sometimes it's hard to guess what's going to go.
That's the other reason that Dragonfly has everything.
Yeah.
We can't guess.
Because you don't know. Yeah. Well, that's where your psychology degree comes in.
Which probably needs to kick in more often.
So when you go to market, because all store people, this is what I think
That's
is
a thing.
always the cool about retail is, well, you have to go to market. I'm like, God, I want to go to market.
I know. Doesn't that sound fun?
But
It
then I
probably
think
isn't.
every time I say that phrase, well, I'm going to go to market, it sounds like I'm going to get butchered, you know? Like I'm going to
right
take
to
a
the
cow
grocery
to the
store.
market.
Like you're a pig being taken. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So when you go to market, are there experts that you rely on that say, hey, this is what we're seeing work in New York City? And you're going to say, oh, that's great. We don't get a lot of people from New York in the store. Or do you go, that might work, that might not work?
I don't talk to any, let's say, experts.
Okay.
Yeah.
I have sales reps
Okay.
who rep a certain particular line. And they'll always be like emailing me. Because if I would talk to every single sales rep I had, I would be on the phone constantly.
Yeah.
But just like, hey, we know you like this. We know this looks good. This is a special, whatever. But when I attend what's called a market, essentially, it's essentially like, let's say the home show here,
Oh.
but to the scale times like 1,000. So it's like little booths set up. A lot of them are, some can be permanent, some are temporary, depending on the market you go to.
Okay.
And I always have a list, and I have appointments, like usually every hour for 4 days. And so then I just go to each of those spots. We work through everything. We talk through it all. A lot of it can be done on a computer now where they set it all up in there, and then I can look at how many actual pieces, dollar amount, shipping times, so then I can kind of gauge better. In the old days, it was all like on a triplicate carbon paper, and I was like, I can't even read this anymore.
Yeah.
So, but a lot of it's like just deep dive searching. And a lot, reps want to sell you stuff, right?
Yeah.
So they're like,
their
this is the
job.
best, greatest thing. And I'm like,
Are you
yuck.
sure? Yeah.
I'm like, that looks like my grandma's doilies that she like had on her sofa. I'm
Yeah.
like, who's going to wear that?
Yeah.
And they're like, everyone's bought it. I'm like, I don't believe you.
Yeah. That's fine. They can go everywhere else to buy it. Yeah.
So
They might have bought it. Is it going to sell?
Right.
Right. That's a whole other thing.
And you can't always ever know, but
Yeah.
it's definitely
Do you
brain power.
do you pick out things that you would wear, or kind of what parameters when you're looking? You're like, I'm putting stuff in here that's like would be straight out of my closet, or like how do you decide what you want to pick?
I don't ever pick stuff I want to wear.
Because there are stores that have done that. Like they
Yeah, and they
start
can
a
do that.
retail store and they just buy things they like, and they carry brands they want because they're just wanting the discount. And some of those don't stay around a long time. They don't have a lot of staying power.
I mean, and as big as Dragonfly is, it has to be more diverse. Like, it just has to be non-generational. So any age could buy or have an interest in that, like the little stuffy jelly cats or a prom dress. I mean, like, I'm not going to sell a prom dress to other than a certain age group.
Yep.
But I might sell that same dress for a trip to Vegas with the girls, you know?
Totally. Yeah.
Yep.
But I have in my head about 12 different customers when
Okay.
I'm looking at a
Like
group and a
personas.
line.
Profiles of them. Okay.
And I'll be like, oh, Mary would like that. Beth would like that. Rebecca would like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's like, yeah, that's their vibe. That's their fit. That's their lifestyle. That's what they need to go to work, to go to their party, to be professional.
Yeah.
And so always mentally in my head, if I look at something, I'm like, I can't think of a single one of those 12 that would wear that. I'm like, we're
Doesn't
done.
go.
So it has
Except
to
if you're feeling real
adventurous.
spicy and want to see what happens.
I have a few of those adventurous
Yeah.
ones sitting down there, which I would be happy to sell you.
Come find those.
Yeah.
Too. Yeah.
I'm like, there's a jacket no one likes, and anyway, I think it's amazing.
Yeah.
No one's even tried it on.
So 27 years, you've seen probably almost everything.
I hope not everything.
Still hoping we got 20, 30 years left of craziness to see.
Sure.
Great. But it's evolved and changed over time. Obviously, you grew from 1,400 square feet to how big are you now?
I'm pretty much retail side is about 10,000 square feet,
Oh my
and then I have
gosh.
5,000 in storage.
Wow.
Backstock, like shoes,
Yeah.
like little
Yeah.
rooms and stuff.
That's
Yeah.
amazing. And the old Fifth Street Diner is part of your.
It is
Landscape
right
as
now,
well?
but that's
Okay.
going to change in the
Okay.
next
Hmm.
when I get to
Little while.
Yeah.
Sounds, yeah.
And there was a point in time when you had what I'm going to say pop-up shops maybe, or leased part of your building to other people, because there was Diamonds by Design within your
Yep.
building.
There was a little stop there, and I've done a few different little kind of people have come in and done like little setups. Right now, probably the most thing closest that equates to that is like Montana made items.
Oh, yeah.
So like today I had 5 cutting boards delivered.
Oh,
We have, a dozen body warmers, flaxseed body warmers coming in. We have 8 more Montana ornaments. Like that all happened today. So that's kind of like they
little
have
more
their
like
own little
local
space.
artists
Yeah.
dropping stuff off. And
Yeah. That I have a relationship with, and we built that over years. And
yeah.
yeah.
Cool. And then you have a team occupying a lot of that space, but in some recent years, I've noticed more of your family there. Your husband has helped me a number of times with shoes. And I'm like, oh, he is pretty dang smart. Which I thought, that's awesome. Because if my husband were to join me in a retail venture, it wouldn't go well. He would not engage well with
I've seen him shopping with you.
human. Yeah. And he just is that what I have to buy you? Yeah. Okay, I'll just do that now. No. You make it special and you come
Right.
back later.
Don't
and
make
he's like,
me buy my own present.
Right.
he's not real good
We
at
do
that.
see lots of husbands and wives wandering through, like coming up through. We'll have the parade of lights next Friday.
Yeah.
Lots of them will come through, and then Christmas stroll the following
That's
Friday.
the big one. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's your time to like be like, ooh, I love this jacket, honey. Like,
Yep.
come back and get it for me.
Hint, hint.
Look at
Take a
how
note.
pretty
Take a
this
picture.
is.
And then the next morning they can come back and do that.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it'll be interesting to see Christmas stroll this year.
Mm-hmm.
Last year, we had the most people I've ever had
Wow.
through from 5 to 9. I usually have between 1,200 and 1,400 people.
Wow.
Last year, I had just over 1,900
Oh
people.
my
So
goodness.
much.
So it's a good day to get out, but you don't
It
have
is.
to do that day.
No.
You can
No.
stroll through downtown any day.
And
And it's
you're
amazing.
and you are open. You're one of the rare stores that's open 7 days a week downtown.
Yep.
And
All year round.
hours, you're open, conducive hours for people as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sundays,
Crazy.
Sundays through the summer and through Christmas, we're open 11 to 4, which essentially means we open the doors at 11 and we might be done at 4, but we'll see. And that
Yeah.
actually happens every day. We close at a certain time, but we stay till
Everybody
everybody
leaves.
Yeah. Unless I'm like, are you really
Are you
bored?
actually shopping?
Do you need to go get a snack?
Yeah.
Yeah. Go across the street.
Yeah.
They
Go
have
get
some
Big
ice cream.
Dipper. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. We had to make a sign this summer because
saw
everybody
that.
would stand outside the doors and buy the garbage can and finish their ice cream and then throw it in the garbage can. And I was like, it's not doing me any good if
Right.
they just stand outside. They
Right.
need to be in here.
Yeah.
Yeah. You
So
can bring
I was
your
like,
ice cream.
girls, ice cream and dogs welcome. Come
Right.
on in.
I remember I think I took a picture of that sign this summer because I was like, oh, my happy place.
Yeah.
Ice cream dogs, great shopping. Yeah.
Yeah. I told those guys I was so happy they put an ice cream shop across the street because I
Yeah.
was going to make more money off of their $4 ice creams than they would ever make.
Absolutely.
I was like, they're going to buy a T-shirt for $30 from me.
Right.
So
Perfect.
Works out good.
And you've been really a part of, I mean, just talking about the development that's happened in that kind of block and the events that have come in this block. I mean, you're a big part of Hootenannies, Summer Jams, all of these events that the In Bar Inc. group and Newberry and all of those guys have.
Yeah.
have
we
been part
are
of.
all neighbors. And
Yeah.
we all got to work it out together.
One big happy family,
That's
whether
right.
we like it or
Right.
not.
Happy
That's
family.
right.
Every once in a while, I stand on the corner. I'm like, I don't like that. No, no. No more of
Let's
that.
be done. Yep. Let's be done with that.
But no, we like to. We have to have all the excitement and stuff happening to get people who maybe have lived here for a long time to be like, what's happening? And it's like, how come I can't find a parking spot? Because we're really cool now.
Because there's a lot going
everyone
on down
loves
here.
us.
Yeah.
I'm like, have you eaten here lately? Because
Right.
it's amazing. Yeah.
And I loved the post that you had about parking in big box parking areas.
Oh, I saw a bunch of the
versus-
downtown crew sharing
That's
that.
going around right now.
It's so important to share that kind of
Yeah.
parking's not a real issue.
Yeah. Do you want to
even though-
explain the post a little
Well,
bit? Like,
it's really just the mindset. It's shifting your mindset. When you go to shop at like Walmart, you'll park 3.5 miles from the entrance, but
Right.
since you can see where
since
the building
it seems
is,
to be a straight line, you don't care.
you're close. And then you get into the store, and 800 days later, you've gotten your milk and across the other side to get your oil. And then you've put in 8,000 steps just getting to the front door, another 15,000 steps once you're in there. And in
Right.
downtown, you complain because you can't park in front of the store,
Right.
but
When really
big boxes taught you. You'll find it on. You can watch it. Actually,
Yeah.
go to Dragonfly Dry
Right.
Goods
and you can
website.
park a block
Not
away
website, Facebook page.
around the corner, and you're way closer still than you are out in no man's land.
It's like I call it the Vegas phenomenon. When you're in Vegas, you're like, "Oh, let's just walk over to that
on
next
this
casino."
strip. Yeah.
And like
10
2
days
hours
later,
you're like, "I'm
Yeah,
dying,"
it's deceiving.
and we're not there yet.
Yep.
Yeah.
So, there is a lot of different places to park. It can be confusing, but every town that is a downtown is going to have parking, and it's all going to be different.
Yep.
Recently, in the last 4 or 5 years, they've changed it to where there's going to be a kiosk you can pay with that's in the center of a block, or there's an app that you can put on your phone. There is meters still on the side. So then people are like, why isn't there meters on Central? It makes no sense. I'm like, I know, it's crazy. I was like, here's how it works.
Yeah.
All
And
options.
If it's cold and snowy, or even if it's not, like I just let all my customers know when they come in. They're like, I don't get it. What do we do? I'm like, don't worry about it.
Yeah.
Come up to the front desk, give me your license plate, off your car number. We're going to punch it in for you. We got you.
That's really nice.
And then that way they don't have to stress out about it and figure it out.
Very helpful.
I've also, helped them figure out their app on their phone or, whatever.
Yeah.
So we just want it to be a fun experience. And, within 2 blocks of Dragonfly, you can park for free on the streets. So it's not like, but it's also cold and icy, and we don't want you to break a hip. So
Right. Yeah.
just come hang out. And there's parking garages that you can access.
Yeah.
I mean,
That's been a great resource too.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, there's always something we can make be an obstacle to being a part of our town. And it can be a lot of different things. Like, it's too cold out. It's too windy out. It's too
Everybody can
whatever.
come up with an excuse.
But it's like, come and enjoy that there's, for me, my favorite thing is like all these amazing restaurants we have. I'm like, within 50 feet of my front door. I'm surprised I'm like 250 pounds right now. But within 50 feet of my Dragonfly Dry Goods door, I can be like, have some of the best food ever.
Yeah.
It's great.
And coffee and drinks. You have all of it. Right out your door.
Wild Hair just started their Italian nights
saw
on
a
Sundays.
picture
And
of
something about
I was
that.
like, oh, you jerks. I'm like, I am going to be. So,
Pasta's so good.
Yeah, I need to go try that. That looks amazing.
So getting to work with, I'm bringing this all the way back to family. Getting to work with family, is that fun or not fun?
It's
always
a
big
big
commitment.
I mean, even like my boys, they're all grown now. They've come and done stuff. And right now I have my daughter who's back working for me. She was living out of state for a while. She's back working full time. And so it's always like an ebb and flow as far as that goes. I'm lucky in a lot of ways of all that support and taking care of many, many, many problems that come up that need to be taken care of
Every day.
Yeah.
So what does the future look like for Dragonfly? You gonna, because there's been, you've tested the waters on a lot of things, I think. I would say not just tested the waters, but maybe fulfilled a few dreams. Like, I want to do this, and we'll see if this works.
Yeah, and there's been a few not things work.
That's part of
how
part
much
of the
money did
process,
I
though,
lose
right?
on that project?
Yeah.
I think Dragonfly's in a really good place. Like, it's been well received coming out of COVID. All of us as business owners would sit around and be like, what's going to happen? Are we going to still be able to do anything? And as far as our whole entire downtown, like, a lot of us have just refocused and connected and helped each other through that, to say we want to be here and it's sustainable and we do love it in comparison to other places we've come from or could go to, that we're happy. I mean, generally overall with all of us, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, there's not that air of competition. Like, I don't want Erica doing good because that'll take away from me. And
No.
there's more of a collaboration and cooperation throughout the town.
The more success our neighbors have, the more. I mean, it's the same example as the ice cream store. It's like, sweet,
Great.
I am so happy you're going to do ice cream because I'm going to sell them a T-shirt, and you're going to have 82 scooper girls over there.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I was like, but yay on you. And there's a line out the door at the ice cream place, you know? So it's like perfect.
Yeah.
Another little chapter that brings a little group down that says, maybe I'm going to go eat at Ember tonight.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm going to go to Mighty Mo. Maybe I'm going to go buy a sweater over here. So we have to have all of those layers. And I strongly am encouraging to people to come hang out near me. I love neighbors. I want more neighbors.
Well, and that's been such any downtown associated people who we've had on this podcast have all spoken to
Said the same.
the collaboration
and people, we don't
support.
we don't seed that. We don't tell them you have to say these things. It's all organic.
Yeah. But I've appreciated that, just as, you know, as someone who lives here and loves this community, to hear that from people, because that's what has contributed to the success and growth in the last, 10, 15 years, especially, that we've seen in downtown and near and around you, things building up around where you've been, because of that more collaborative, supportive, healthy competition component. Yeah.
No, I mean, we love all the little layers, and including, I don't know, there's always more to do, but there's always more on the list. But it's pretty, we're pretty lucky kids where we're at down there. So
I look back on things I've purchased in my life. Clothes, necklaces, things that have disappeared. Most recently, I was recollecting of a time in the 90s, when I had this great Mary Kay compact.
Oh my gosh, that's right.
we all
And
did.
then I was like, that disappeared. And then I'm like, where did that go? So then, for some stupid reason, I went to eBay and started recreating this compact. So now I don't know why. I'm scared to put the makeup on my face, so I'm not going to do that. But now I've got this beautiful 1990s Mary Kay compact. When you look back on maybe some of the things that you've carried in the store that just don't fit anymore today, what would be some of the things that you would say, like, these are, I wish I still had this, or I wish this was still a style, or I loved carrying this?
It's
27 years.
That's
I
toughy.
know.
yeah.
I ask the
Or
hard-hitting
or
questions.
you wish this was back in style so you could actually sell them. Yeah.
I'm kind of sad that tall boots are not as cool as they used to be.
Oh,
I do love a good tall boot, though.
I know. They did
feel
all like
classic.
ankle boots and short boots and they're still like, but I have to search for them because we still want them.
Like, especially around here. Like, I want my calves to be warm and covered.
Yeah. And it's, anyway, there's always like little fashiony trend things. I mean, remember, like, everything had a feather on it for a while,
yeah.
you know? I mean, you're like,
Now I see
how
a
many
lot
feathers?
more like crystals and geodes, and that's a new fad. I like that.
Yeah.
Or trend.
Yeah. They say it's harder, like, before social media and stuff, trends would last about 18 months, and now they only last about 3 months.
Which makes it real hard for you, I'm sure, to feel like you're keeping up. And then even as a consumer, I'm like, That's where sometimes I'm like, I'm just going to go for more classic because then I'm not trading out things every couple months. Yeah.
And I think Dragonfly is really driven behind that idea of like, this isn't just a sweater that's like in style. This is like this will be your most favorite sweater.
Good. You feel good in
this
it.
will be your thing. One of the brands we carry is Liverpool.
Oh, I love that brand. I've had good luck with them.
Yeah. And so they are kind of their mission statement is that they want to create clothing or wardrobes that are non-seasonal, that are interchangeable from year to year, and are non-generational. So
kind of that capsule wardrobe idea.
18-year-old, 40-year-old, 60-year-old, and then you will see it in like, I'll get a shirt and I'm like, oh my gosh, that totally matches that other jacket that we had last year that like looks so perfect. And like, it's so easy to create like a really nice, clean, essentially like favorite outfits out of their line. And I see more companies going that direction of like almost non-seasonal. Because we obviously have way more seasons than other people do. So we still have to have that. But
it's where layers come in.
Yeah. But yeah, it's more of just like, this is going to be my favorite new shoe, blouse, jacket.
Well, and I think it is until you start trying to maybe do a base layer that's black, you realize how many different colors of black there are. And like this black is not going to fit with this black. And if you don't wash them together all the time, they're never going to be the same black. But I find that even with like this pair of pants will be blue, but then the next year its top is a different blue. I'm like, oh, no, they don't go together. And
Yeah. No, it's more of that focus of, and that's why Liverpool started as a company 8-10 years ago, maybe a little longer. The gentleman who owns Liverpool, he owned Not Your Daughter's Jeans, sold it for, mounds of money. I don't know how much, and started this company. And then it's actually, they were just jeans, women's jeans.
Okay.
And like
That's
all the
so
colorful jeans and stuff. And then they've now evolved into everything else.
So he sold a jeans company to start a jeans company.
Yeah. He knocked himself off.
Well, it's working. Yeah.
Well,
I do like that brand. Have you ever gotten that brand? Yeah. I've liked that one.
So he sold brand, like Not Your Daughter's Jeans would retail at like 120 to 160.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And then Liverpool, he was like, I'm going to use the same people and sell it for half the price. So he made all his money off of his one company. And then anyway, they should put a little bit better non-compete clause in there. But anyway.
Interesting.
It works great though.
Where'd you come up with the name Dragonfly?
Dragonfly. I've always been like connected to like winged creatures, butterflies, dragonflies, angels, birds. Like it kind of like always was like a thing.
Yeah.
And so I don't know. I just had hit on someone had given me this really beautiful dragonfly pen. Back in the days when we wore pens.
Yeah.
Older people would call them brooches, right?
Yeah.
Exactly. Even older brooch.
And
bring that back.
I loved it. It was just like this little beautiful dragonfly. And I was actually driving back from Helena. I had a meeting in Helena. And I was like, the whole Laura Ingalls thing and like a dry goods store and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, what would be a cool name? What would be like a dry goods something? Butterfly dry goods, sparrow, meadowlark dry goods. I'm like, I think Dragonfly dry goods would be the best.
It has a good, alliteration to it. Yeah.
It's a good thing. Dragonfly dry goods. Okay.
Yeah.
That could work.
Yeah.
And it sure has.
And it's stuck.
Yeah.
So it's one of those things where, again, I was like, oh, we're going to have this cute little clothing store. But now we sell like earrings with dragonflies on them and necklaces with dragonflies on them and T-shirts with dragonflies on them and all that too. So
do you feel maybe that you got pigeonholed into maybe having to like dragonflies as much as you do? Kind of like
now they're my favorite thing.
Yeah.
Or I really like something else.
Right. Or like everybody just gives you dragonflies now, or you always have to find the new dragonfly items to have in store.
Yeah.
Where-
The good thing is that I really, really, really do love.
So then that's not too
That's
bad.
helpful. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because, like Sandy has
Mermaids.
mermaids
Yeah.
at the Sip and Dip.
Yep.
And there comes a point when maybe she doesn't just want everything
she
made
does.
as mermaids.
Don't. I hope she's not
Don't be
listening.
fooled.
But
Yeah.
anyone who has a mermaid thing or a dragonfly thing, but especially mermaids, you need to go drop them off at the desk for Sandy.
Just give them to Sandy.
Especially this week.
Oh,
This is the week to drop
Drop off.
mermaid items.
mermaid. Yeah.
Yeah.
I do find that when it comes to like holiday season, because my husband likes like Bigfoot things, like he's fascinated by Bigfoot, but he's like, I don't need
Anymore.
all these Bigfoot. But it's such a, when there's like this little niche thing people like, they're like, oh, I'll get them that, which is very thoughtful. But then
My
you can get
my
overcome.
aunt was a pig gal, and she had so many pigs in her house that when she moved from Missoula, a lot of them disappeared.
Whoops.
They got lost on the travel.
Yeah.
It just comes a point when you've got too many.
Too many. Yeah.
No. Dragonflies are
Harder to
cool
find.
because, well, they have a lot of meaning and that a lot of people believe that if someone has passed away early in their life, that a dragonfly will come back.
Oh.
And I've had many, many stories over the years of like my son died in this vehicle, and I went to see the car, and I sat down in the seat where he was, and a dragonfly came and sat on the dashboard.
Oh my gosh.
And so I probably heard hundreds of stories like that where there's this connection. And if you look it up online, there's just the story of a dragonfly and about life and death and just that connectivity. And so a lot of people do have like dragonfly things that mean something to them. A lot of people have dragonfly tattoos. But dragonflies are universal. They're in every country.
Wow.
They're exist in many, many different forms. So it doesn't matter where you go, you're going to find a dragonfly. So there's a lot of connection that people feel to that, which I did not know when I named it that. But I had a connection to it, right?
Yeah.
So,
you knew there was a reason you liked it.
right. And so now it's like the interesting part to learn, that kind of different layer of people's lives. I'm like, I just was going to open a little clothing store, and now I have like all these things, right? It's like, I love this store because blah, blah, blah. And people will travel a long ways just because it is called that. So that's an interesting point too.
Yeah.
That is fascinating to me, though, that dragonflies live like all over the place, because what other thing is like, yeah, sure, I'll live in super hot and humid. Sure, I'll live in really cold.
Yeah.
Like, that's cool.
Yeah.
So even though you said since the 8 of 8 retail's been in your blood, have you ever thought of starting other businesses like a lumberyard or restaurant or
I think
hotel?
I'm down with opening another town pump. You can actually live inside a Lucky Leo's and a town pump forever. Have you been in there lately?
Yeah.
They're amazing.
They have
Pretty
become
impressive.
Montana's Travel Plaza.
Yeah.
I walked in one the other day and I was like, oh my gosh, I could just like scope this place
It's like
out.
the
I could like
Buc-ee's of the North.
sit over at the Lucky Lil's and have a drink.
Yeah.
And they have all the, I was like, oh my gosh, this like is kind of hitting all the spots for me.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Gas
So,
station
there you go.
Empire. There we go.
No, they
Travel
already have one.
Plaza.
Yeah.
I'll just go work for them.
in all your time.
Yeah, all my time. I always have some fun thing in my head I want to do, or adventure, or different businesses and brainstorming things.
Well, that's
I'm
good. That hasn't
kinda-
left you.
I'm kind of having to just contain what I have existing right now. So
That's good.
yeah,
That's
and I
good.
like it, and I like that it is working. Like some days in years past, I'd be like, "Why are we doing this?
Yeah.
I don't know what we're doing here."
Yeah.
But you've been kind of lucky with getting some consistent staff and always having good people in the store, which I
Yeah.
think is some of the battle.
It is. I mean, staff
especially when
is
you
always
have
gonna
such
be-
a large square footage.
right, and to do the diversity of the job, like it's not just like
Yep.
we have to restock, we have to steam, we have to gift wrap, we have to clean. I mean, a lot of days I'm like just the cleaning lady.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Well,
But
and the
it's
other the I'm going to say it this way. The layout of the store never seems the same to me. So every time I go in, like you would think you would see.
Is that a good thing or a bad thing?
I think it's amazing because to me it's like, oh my God.
I feel like there's always
inventory's
the
changed
flow.
again. Like I'm.
Yeah.
You never see the same thing twice.
Yeah, that's true.
Like even it could be a week, and I'm like, oh,
Except that I have the one thing that's been there for 27 years.
and
but
I
no one
can't
else
still
don't
can't
know what it
figure
is.
it out. So like to me, nothing ever looks the same.
Yeah.
And there's never a thing in there that I can find like that's a repeat. Or if I found something and I'm like, I'm going to visit this a few times and then buy it, then I can find maybe, but it's not very quick. Like every end cap is a little different each time I go in. So that I'm always searching and finding new things. And there's so much to see.
Treasure hunt.
But if my husband commits to the idea to renew our vows at our 20-year anniversary,
Wow.
Oh.
I'm buying that gown.
Yeah, you are.
Ooh,
That's
I
what
like
I'm
You
wearing.
should just get it anyway.
We need to take some pictures.
Yeah.
Take some votes.
I, played in it. My friend took a picture, and I said, I think we should just get gowns and do something. With she's like, okay,
Yeah.
we'll do it. I said,
You can find an occasion to wear it.
because originally I had said for our friends, like we'll do our 20-year vow renewal, and everybody just shows up in their wedding dresses,
Uh-huh.
whether they fit or not.
Oh,
Like you
yikes.
just have to show up in it.
Uh-huh.
And they're like, "Oh, this is going to be chaos." And
Yeah,
I'm
that's
like,
bad.
I think I'm changing up the rules now. All the guests have to show up in their wedding dress, and you get to wear a gown if you're the bride renewing your vow.
Oh, nice. You just, wear
Any
whatever you
kind of
want.
gown you want.
Yeah,
So
like that. I do like the idea. Of course, some of our partnership opportunities are where we will wear your apparel as
Yeah.
a team. I think we should just do that. Is we have a gown day because then we tell people
Yeah.
ask questions and we get to wear pretty gowns.
But now is the time to buy for New Year's Eve fanciness.
Yeah.
And
Christmas
I can
party.
recall Christmas parties. And I also recall one time you saying that this is cruise wear. So there's a
Oh.
lot of customers that get ready to do cruises in
Yeah.
January, February, March timeframe. So they need to get gussied up for that.
Yeah. There you go.
There's definitely there's a lot of dresses that are a little bit fancier for sure. We don't want to like eliminate that you can actually wear everyday clothes.
Oh,
yes.
thank you. I
Yes.
have fixated on that, and that's not a normal. That's probably why I'm fixated on it, because
but
you don't
also-
normally find.
Correct.
Right.
It's one of the few places in Great Falls where you can
Yeah.
find a gown like
right.
that.
And we actually didn't even carry hardly any kind of prom or New Year's Eve or Christmas or special travel dress. Go to Vegas with the girls, even like bachelorette party kind of fun dresses like that. Even I saw quite a few wedding dresses.
Yeah. Wow. Nice.
That was kind of not a thing 5 years ago. Like
Yeah.
I had some, but I didn't have like now.
No.
You're like, oh my gosh, my
It's
eyes are gonna hurt
noticeable.
from the sparkles.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's also not a large square footage devoted to
Right.
it.
I think it's just because it's a more unique offering in
Yeah.
the community too.
Yeah.
It sticks out.
Well,
yeah.
and I think too, like I started with 3 styles of like little sparkle dressy shoes, and now I have like 40. I'm like,
Yeah.
how does this happen?
Yeah.
Like, but
You
it's
gotta
just
have
like,
the options.
you sold
Yeah.
through. I have one shoe that I've sold 50 the same little shoe. I'm like, why is that the magical shoe? Huh,
That's the one.
Yeah.
that's the one. And I even like say, here's 3 really great options, and then they pick the one
Yeah.
magical one every time. I'm like, dang it.
It's like, what is
Yeah.
it about you?
So, but yeah, sparkle dresses and like essentially. And it's cool because like if you want to drive in from Cupbank or Fairfield or Havre or, like you have some options. And
Yeah.
one of the things too with the sparkle gown prom special stuff was I wanted it to all be like, I felt like affordable. Like,
Yeah.
if I can't keep it $200 or right about there or less, like we have some really pretty dresses that are like $70. I'm
Yeah.
like, then you don't cry
Right.
when you spill your drink on it the first whatever.
Or you can only
You
wear
run
it
in
one
it and-
time.
yeah, you
Right.
run down the street in Vegas and you're
Yeah.
ripped out
Well,
the
dirty.
Yeah.
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 Anyway,
But then as I was leaving, I saw this beautiful rust-colored coat again, kind of fuzzy. I'm like, oh, I need that. And then I found another top, and I'm like, oh. There's so
It's
much
easy
you
to do
need
in there. Yeah, easy to do.
So much you're going to want. And then a few cards that are always fun to get for people.
Yeah. And of
Silly
course,
stuff.
you have your lovely clearance room in the far back, too, that has treasures in it.
I don't know.
Always good options.
I just added like about a dozen jackets back there yesterday because I was like, we only have 2 sizes left.
Yeah.
You're out. You're done.
Good winter coats, good
Everything.
like jackets to office jackets.
We
Suit
do have a
jackets,
whole like
they're
a
not-
career.
Yeah.
Like you kind of don't know what's career, but we name little areas in the store so us girls can find our way around. Like take them to career. So yeah, there's a little spot because we all need a blazer at a point.
Oh, yeah.
Everybody needs a blazer.
Everyone needs a good blazer.
Well, and the thing is, I think more and more people are doing business casual, which doesn't look like a 3-piece suit.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
especially around here.
Yeah. And anybody who visits here is
Right.
going to
That's
know.
what you'll need. Yeah.
These are the things that are just kind of staples to a good wardrobe and are fun. So
There's also, you have kind of we've talked a lot about things for women, but there is a like man section, if you will. Yeah.
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 It's kind of like the perfect thing to like
Go send your husband over there.
like well, usually I just send him to Mighty Mo to get a beer.
There
But
you go. Yeah.
I'm like, your wife's gonna want to be here for like 3 hours. So go get a beer.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it's kind of, I mean, we definitely have some men's kind of pieces that would be great. But it's also, they're very, in some ways, giftable. Like, you know, this is like the most yummy sweater I've ever seen. And I want my boyfriend to be in this on Christmas. Or this will be perfect for my dad because he hasn't bought a new shirt in 18 years. Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
there is some fun stuff back there.
And so still some like really great fabrics. Like you can tell it's going to be wearable. You know, it's not like you saw it online and you're like, oh, that's going to be so great. And then you're like, wow,
Why
I think I can
feel
see
like
through that.
this? Yeah.
I think
Oh, that
the
happens a
ability
lot.
to touch and put something on and visit with someone about how would this fit. My thing is always, is this a dress? Is this a shirt? Because
We're a little taller.
Because sometimes you don't know,
Yeah.
and then some people will be like, well, it can be whatever you want. I'm like, nope. I want to know how it's intended to be worn, so that I can be prepared if I go out in public as this. They go, oh,
Like,
does she know she's just
what were you
wearing a
doing
shirt?
there?
There's no bottoms. She needs bottoms.
You just got to wear it with confidence. That's all. Yeah. That's
And
funny.
there's just that
Don't worry,
added
I'll tell you.
ability.
No, do not wear that.
The honesty
Yeah.
is helpful.
I
But
get
it's
that.
also a fun experience. You just kind of get to relax, enjoy, have fun. No pressure. And you're going to want to take your time.
It's a lot to
It's
lot
a
to look at.
destination.
Yeah. Allison, outside of when you spend time at Dragonfly, what do you enjoy doing in Great Falls? Where do you love to eat? Other places to shop, enjoy recreation?
Because we all know small business owners have all the
so
time
much
in the
time.
world.
Yes. Or even if you can't make it there, what would be your recommendations for people to make sure they do and see?
Oh, well, a lot of people who do travel through town do hit Dragonfly. You know, they're at, like, I went to the St. Russell Museum and I went to Lewis and Clark and I went, and I'm like, they're like, where should I go? So I always send them to Giant Springs because it's so easily accessible.
Yes.
And it is unique in that of the spring that's bubbling in the shortest river in the world. And I'm like, you have to go there. I had a gentleman who's like, my wife's obsessed with the shortest river in the world. Do you have a T-shirt that says that? I'm like, I do not have a T-shirt that says that.
Somebody should, though.
I
Yeah.
know 20 minutes.
Yeah, I was like,
Yeah.
all the things. But yeah, we actually are so lucky within like 15 to 30 minute any direction. You have like beautiful places you can go, visit, be. I mean, you drive between here and Helena, it's amazing. You go up to like a White Sulphur Springs showdown area. You got a whole adventure there. I mean, I don't feel like there is any bad direction you can go.
No?
I haven't found one.
Just different
Different
landscape.
little adventures.
Yeah.
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 I mean, even as close as we are to the Canadian border, and it's like, we're kind of pretty cool centrally looking.
Absolutely.
I would agree.
Mm-hmm.
And I've told people this all the time. It's what makes tourism in Great Falls really easy. Like
Yeah.
we got just a ton of
We have a lot here,
cool
and then
things.
also day trips from here, and
Yeah.
Yeah. No,
Yeah.
it's a good little adventure spot. So
Yeah. Awesome.
Well, Allison, we really appreciate you
Yeah.
sharing your story with us and telling us about your life as a retail.
all the little crazy,
27 years of
Yeah.
Dragonfly,
which isn't
Yeah.
a lot. I mean, if you look down the street at Kaufman's, they've had a store
Well,
for
130. Yeah.
Yeah.
We got a ways to go for
but
that.
Brian hasn't been there for 130
No.
years.
Okay,
It
you're
seems like it, but he hasn't.
He knows a lot about those
Yes, he
130
does.
years.
Yes, he
but,
does.
and that's where I think it's really unique to celebrate that. That's a big milestone. I mean, there's a lot that goes on in 27 years that
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
And a lot that's gone on around you.
Yeah.
Mhm. Yeah.
crazy.
It's been great though.
Well, we really appreciate you sharing your story,
Yeah.
hanging out with
Thanks.
us,
And for doing what you do in Great Falls.
yes,
Mhm.
I love it.
all
Still do.
the
Only
things.
for about 5 minutes, I might need a bottle of wine, but
Hey.
I usually have some friends
Those
who
are
can bring that.
accessible. Yeah. Mhm.
I think we've all hit those moments in life. So,
Yep.
folks, your next trip, if it does not include Dragonfly Dry Goods, it
What are you doing?
needs to. I don't know what else to tell you. And the reason I say that is because it's not a run of the mill shopping
No.
experience. And so we're not going to tell you to go to Herberger's because it's closed.
It's gone now, but yeah. Walmart. We're not going to.
But those experiences are the same wherever you go. This is an experience unique to Great Falls. It's an experience unique to shopping. So just have that. Make that part of what you want to do. We won't fault you for it. We'll actually
We'd love you
applaud
for it. Yeah.
Applaud you.
Oh, do you want the applause?
No, I think
Too late. Just a little bit.
And if you need help planning your next trip to Great Falls, we're here to help. Always 406-761-4436. You can always email Carol random notes, information at visitgreatfalls.org. We want to see you in Great Falls. We want to see you in Great Falls often, and we want you to experience all the things that are here in our town. So, folks, until we see your bright, smiling, happy, healthy, beautiful, wonderful faces in our fine, fine city, we do hope you are creating amazing memories with your friends and family wherever you might be. We'll see you soon.
We're No Dam Experts is the recorded claims from Great Falls, Montana, covering what you need to know about this amazing damn town.